So who are you? Seriously, who are you? Are you the person that is constantly seeking something in your life? Are you putting out that energy that you're constantly wanting something? Because if you are constantly seeking and constantly wanting, how is the universe going to respond? I'll give you more to seek and I'll give you more to want. It's about consciousness. It's the absolute foundation of what we teach here. And so what is abundance and prosperity? And there is a difference. Abundance is about consciousness. Abundance is about how do you show up in the world? What do you say? Do you walk into a town and say, oh, the last place I lived, it was awful. The last job I had, it was terrible. The last relationship I had, oh, let me tell you. Not you, honey. And as you tell those stories, the universe is always responding, oh, that's a more, please. She wants to live somewhere where nobody likes her. She wants to struggle financially. She wants to always be in a job that doesn't support her, doesn't make her feel good about herself. She wants to be in relationships that are demeaning. That was my life. And do you know who changed? Nobody out there. Nobody out there. You have to believe that you are co-creating your life all of the time. Every moment of every day, you're creating your life. If you want a relationship in your life and you're going to continue to complain about the relationships you've had before, one of two things, well, no, only one thing's going to happen. You will get a relationship and it will look like all the relationships that you've walked away from. Trust me, because I did that over and over and over again. If you complain about your job thinking the universe is going to give you better employment, no, it won't. It will give you different employment, and eventually you will realize, wow, this feels really familiar. Because you keep showing up exactly as you are. Now, when I say be real, I mean be real. However, here's what I know. Here's what I know to be true. Inside of you, that spark that either Reverend Heather read about or introduced her reading about, that spark within you, it is within each and every one of us, and it knows only perfection. It knows only good, and it knows only abundance. And then we spend our life building up walls and thinking that that's not true of us. That's true of somebody else. That's not true of us. And so what we are going to do is, starting next week, we are going to go through 10 principles. Thank you, Heather. That's not the book I'm using, but I will be using that book too. However, the book I am using, and the book that will be in the bookstore, is in the bookstore, is Transform Your Life. 10 Principles of Abundance and Prosperity by Chris Lee. How did I find this book? I have no idea. That's how brilliant the universe is. I really don't know. I have never heard of this person. I started to read it and went, okay, this is perfect. So the whole basis of the book is every single one of us, some area in our life, we are chasing scarcity because we are chasing the thing that we want. We're trying to come up with all the hows necessary to make that perfect relationship happen, to get that perfect job, to have that perfect life. We are chasing it always. And the truth is, the hows are what? Come on, practitioners, the hows are what? None of our business. The hows belong to the divine. You are very clear about what you want by being that energetically. If you want a loving relationship, I suggest you start being loving. And I suggest you do that with yourself first. Because it's a big leap to expect people to love you if you don't love yourself. So learn to love yourself. If you want, now this was really interesting for me, and I kind of pushed up against it. If I want a different body, let's say more slender, I need to love the body I'm in. I can't tell the universe I want something different if I am constantly complaining about what I have already. See, the thing is, you're already millionaires. Everybody in here can see? Thank you, God. Everybody in here can hear? Thank you, God. Everybody here can speak? Thank you, God. You have so many things to be grateful for. And we forget about it. So I have a friend that I pray with, and I realized while I was studying this, I've been going around about this all wrong when I'm praying with this person. Instead of seeking out what the desire is differently, is to be really, really grateful for what the person has in their life already. The perfect job to support the family and to support and be a stay-at-home person with his child. Perfect. To give thanks for that instead of constantly looking at what is wrong with that. Nothing. Be grateful for it. And if you're grateful for it, then something else will show up. Does that make sense to everybody? So here's the deal that I know to be true. Is there anybody here that feels they are not stuck somewhere in their life? Okay, we've all got an area, and that is in our subconscious. And so there are lots of ways to work with our subconscious to release wherever we are feeling stuck. And one of those opportunities is called emotional freedom technique. And so as a group, because remember, there is power, right, in doing things together where two or more are gathered. And so my first question is going to be, is anybody here, they do not have a piece of white paper? Diane, did you get one? And would you do me a favor, Diane? Would you mind sitting down here just because we want the energy to be contained? That would be perfect. Thank you. And if somebody could get Diane a white piece of paper. Does everybody else have paper? We got some more hands. Yay. Raise your hand or stand up if you do not have paper so that the ladies can see you and get paper to you. So what we are going to do as a group is we're going to work together to release some of those places that we are subconsciously, which means that we may not even know that we are subconsciously stuck around living the life we are meant to live. So here is the truth. If you are a living, breathing organism on this planet, is anybody not? Just checking. I want to make sure. Don't care if you're an alien, you're still a living, breathing organism on this planet. So what that means is within you is that divine essence that we choose to call God. You can call it whatever you want. And because it lives within you, it wants to express through you. And here's the thing about it. It doesn't know anything other than abundance. All of our scarcity mentality comes from what we've learned from our parents, from TV, from the radio, from schools. We were taught to live in fear. We have been taught to accept scarcity as part of our mental construct. And it's not true. Yes, I did just spit at all of you. It's not true. And so as Kim Boyton was introduced, she is an emotional freedom technique practitioner. She has studied this, she's certified in it, and she has agreed to lead us all in that process. Come on in here if you would, Lori. Thank you. And if somebody could get her a white piece of paper, that would be great. And so Kim's going to come to the stage. She is going to lead us through this process together. And then I invite you to come to the community meeting at 11:30 and then stay for the workshop, because yes, you're going to get a taste of this now, and the workshop is going to take you even deeper. And so the one question I want to ask you is, what if you did this together as a group? And what if you started to truly believe you could live your passion, no holds barred? Please welcome Kim Boyton to the stage.
Morning. This is one of those mornings I wish I had 3 hands, because I need all of them. My preference is to stand in the middle of the stage, but I also, well, okay. Maybe we can do.
We're going to take the time out. Come here.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves a minute.
I guess you can hear me. This is cool.
Ask and you shall receive.
I guess. As Heather so eloquently stated, and Gayle did too, and the reason we come to this church is, and we have the philosophy we have, is because we all know in that deepest part of our soul that we are the light, that we are the way, we are the vessel for spirit to flow through easily and effortlessly. And we all like the sound of that, and we all want to be that person, don't we? But then we have those days, and then we have those moments where we're not shining so brightly. Gayle talked about that wall that comes up. We just like looking over that wall. We want what's over there, but there's this darn wall right here. And that wall is our subconscious mind. They say we live about 85% of our life out of our unconscious mind. As we go through our day, all of our habits are all in our unconscious mind. Thank goodness, because if you had to think about how you got out of bed in the morning and how you brush your teeth, it would be quite a day. But that wall, those blocks that keep every single one of us from really living from our true glorious selves, they're there for us. And that's that part of getting real. That we talk about this fabulous consciousness, and we all want that. And the getting real about it is not always that way for us. So this is what tapping is about. It's called emotional freedom technique. And doesn't that sound fabulous? Who doesn't want to be emotionally free? If you lived your life emotionally free, imagine what it would be like. Abundance, prosperity, no problem, because we're acting from who we are. So today I'm going to teach you this technique. And I've taught this before, and there's different ways to do this. So any of those who trained with me before, I did it one way, even though the process is the same. I read this book. It's called Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch. I've been following her for years. She's an EFT practitioner coach. And this book's just been fabulous, and this is what I'm basing my workshop on. So, there it is. What I'm doing is from her book. So let me briefly explain the process of EFT. First, you think about, they call it the MPI, the most pressing issue with you, and you'll see this demonstrated. And then to see if this process works, you need a scale. I started out here and I ended up here. My wish for you today is, we just due to time limits, we're not going to get all the way to the bottom of the scale like I'd like. But my wish is that you are going to feel a shift. The process with the tapping, there's 8 points that I use. We always start with the side of the hand. It's called the karate chop. And all this will become clear to you. We start here. I will lead you through everything. Don't worry about memorizing anything. We start with the side of the hand, and then we go to the top of the head, where your eyebrow begins, side of the eye, underneath the nose, the chin, the collarbone, and underneath the arm. That's your 8 basic places for tapping. Each one of those places in your body, really what I'm talking about here is energy psychology. It's our meridians, our chi energy that keeps us flowing, keeps us glowing as we go through life. When that's blocked up, then we're blocked up. Some part of our life is blocked up. So what we're going to do now is, I'll lead you through all this. We're going to do one thing first, and this is why you have your white piece of paper. I'd like you to all write your current income down. For your eyes only. The actual number that you earn now. For the entrepreneurs in the group, I know myself, that number can vary, but just do a guesstimate with that. If you're not employed right now and you're looking for a job, write down a number that you would imagine the job you're looking for pays. So if you'll do that. I'd also like you to write down the number of the tithe that you give to Genesis. And the number for charities that you give to too. And those at home, please do this too. And I want you to focus on the number that you wrote down. And I want you to say out loud, I'm earning, like with a group of people you may not want, but you can just say that under your breath, what you're earning. And just notice any feelings that you have as you're writing that number down. And then I want you to look at that number, and I want you to say out loud, it's not enough. It's not enough. I want to look at the number that you tithe, and say, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Any other areas in your life, any other charities, and say, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
And now I want you to notice how you feel when you say those words. When you look at the numbers on the page and you say out loud, it's not enough. How does that make you feel? And then on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being off the charts, I just feel awful about my life and what I'm earning and what I'm giving. 1 being, I got this. I'm pretty good. My income is good. My generosity is good. So that's the 1. And then 10 is like, ugh, shouldn't have got out of bed today. So anywhere on that line, put down the number of those feelings that are up for you now. Okay, so we're going to start the EFT now. One thing, as I was creating this program, the words that came up for me were the words expose, and then we turn it around, and we expose what's going on, what are the blocks, and then through the tapping, we explode those blocks. And it's like, boom, gone. So we're going to start out now, and we're just going to start with the side of the hand. It doesn't matter which side of the hand. There's no wrong way to do this, so please know that. How I'm leading you this, the process is always the same, but there's no wrong way to do this. So side of the hand, and we're going to keep saying this as we're hitting the side of the hand. Say out loud after me. Even though the truth is, I try to be positive.
Even though the truth is, I try to be positive.
This number is just not enough.
This number is just not enough.
And I feel it right in my stomach.
And I feel it right in my stomach.
It's depressing.
It's depressing.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It is hopeless.
It is hopeless.
And I'm really disappointed.
And I'm really disappointed.
I totally honor all of these feelings.
I totally honor all of these feelings.
And I'm so open to healing them.
And I'm so open to healing them.
Because this is a conflict.
Because this is a conflict.
Even though this money just isn't enough,
Even though this money just isn't enough.
I'm going to accept all my awful feelings about that.
I'm going to accept all my awful feelings about that.
This hopeless feeling.
This hopeless feeling.
This deep shame.
This deep shame.
Shouldn't I be ashamed?
Shouldn't I be ashamed?
All my disappointment and all my fears.
All my disappointment and all my fears.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What if it never changes?
What if it never changes?
Am I really feeling the pain of money?
Am I really feeling the pain of money?
Even though my money just isn't enough?
Even though my money just isn't enough.
I'm just not earning enough.
I'm just not earning enough.
And I'm not giving enough.
I'm not giving enough.
And that's the truth.
And that's the truth.
I honor who I am anyway.
I honor who I am anyway.
And all this heavy emotion about money
And all this heavy emotion about money
feels so disappointing,
feels so disappointing,
depressing, and it's a battle.
depressing, and it's a battle.
Okay, now we're going to move, now that I've got you all bummed out, we're going to go through the tapping points. I always start with the top of the head, and then I'll tell you where to move. This feeling in my stomach, out loud. Beginning of the eyebrow. Oh, I don't want to look at this.
Oh, I don't want to look at this.
Side of the eye. My income just isn't enough.
My income just isn't enough.
Under the eye, I try to be positive.
I try to be positive.
I've been positive for years.
I'm positive for years.
Under the nose, and it still isn't enough.
And it still isn't enough.
Chin, it hasn't ever been enough.
It hasn't ever been enough.
It's really scary.
It's really scary.
Under the arm, it feels really helpless.
It feels really helpless.
Disappointing.
Disappointing.
I don't know where I am now. And shameful.
And shameful.
Eyebrow, it's just not enough.
Just not enough.
Side of the eye, panic. Under the eye, fear.
Fear.
Under the nose, depression.
Depression.
Chin, anger.
Anger.
Collarbone. Every time I think about this money.
Every time I think about this money.
Under the arm, every time I see my income.
Every time I see my income.
Top of the head, it's really hard to be grateful
It's really hard to be grateful
when I feel so bad.
when I feel so bad.
It's just not enough.
It's not enough.
And I want you to take a deep breath in. Just breathe all the way down to your toes. And I want you to look at the number that you wrote down. And so I had you write on a number from 1 to 10 what your feelings were. I want you to notice if that number has shifted at all. Is it still at whatever you began with? or has it shifted? Can I see a show of hands? Even if it dropped one number, did people feel a shift as they look at their number again? You still may not feel fabulous, but when you look at it, it's writing on paper, right? Okay, so hold on to that. What we're going to do now, and the ideal way to do this is for me to help you get down to zero. I don't have time for that right now, but I'm hoping that you're going to still experience this shift. So now it's time to get positive. Yay. So back to the karate chop. Even though my income still isn't enough, I am totally open to the millions of ways money can show up for me. Even though this isn't what I wanted it to be, I recognize in the present moment that I'm just looking at a result on paper from my past. But in this present moment, I am a powerful manifester. So I'm changing my vibration about money. I am totally open to all the ways money can start showing up for me. And everything I need, I am now attracting to me. To allow more money into my life, I am now attracting ideas, inspirations, actions, people, circumstances, anything I need to allow money to show up for me. I'm opening up my vibration about money by saying one simple word. Yes. I am now saying yes to money. Back to the tapping, top of the head. Looking at money used to make me feel angry. Eyebrow, or feel fearful and depressed. Side of the eye. Now when I look at money, I just say yes. Under the eye, I love receiving money. Under the nose, it's really fun to get money. Chin, I actually am grateful for the money that I have right now. Collarbone, I am now open, under the arm, to receiving any kind of legal money. Top of the head, I'm saying yes to all sorts and forms of money. Eyebrow, cash, check, or charge. Side of the eye, I'm saying yes to money. Under the eye, a whole new vibration about money. Under the nose, I'm letting go of fear and depression. I'm letting go of shame and anger. Collarbone, I'm now allowing. Under the arm, the real me. Top of the head, to resonate with money. I really love money. Eyebrow, it's fun because I'm good at what I do. Side of the eye, I really love earning money. Under the eye, I love what I do. Under the nose, I'm really good at it. Chin, and now I'm open to receiving. Collarbone with one simple word.
with one simple word.
Under the arm, yes to money. Top of the head, I'm saying yes to money.
I'm saying yes to money.
I'm going to say, eyebrow, I'm going to say yes to money.
I'm going to say yes to money.
Side of the eye, all day long.
All day long.
Under the eye, when I wake up in the morning.
When I wake up in the morning.
Under the nose, when I go to sleep.
When I go to sleep.
Chin, yes to money.
Yes to money.
Collarbone, when I dream, I'm saying yes to money.
When I dream, I'm saying yes to money.
Under the arm, I love this vibration.
I love this vibration.
Top of the head, the vibration of receiving.
The vibration of receiving.
And the vibration of giving.
And the vibration of giving.
I am now receiving, giving, and welcoming.
I am now receiving,
Giving and welcoming. Side of the eye, more money.
more money.
Under the eye, into my home.
Into my home.
Under the nose, into my business.
Into my business.
Chin, right into my hands.
Right into my hands.
Collarbone, I am so curious.
I am so curious
Under the arm as to how it will show up.
to how it will show up.
Top of the head, I am feeling ready.
I am feeling ready,
Eyebrow, excited.
excited,
Side of the eye, and grateful.
and grateful
Under the arm for more money showing up.
for more money showing up.
Collarbone, yes to money.
Yes to money.
Under the arm, thank you for money.
Thank you for money.
Top of the head, open to receiving money.
Open to receiving money.
Eyebrow all the way through me.
All the way through me.
Side of the eye, mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul.
Take a deep breath in. And now I'd like you to look back at the number that you wrote down on that piece of paper. And notice if there's been a shift from where you began, those uncomfortable feelings, to where you are now. Has anyone felt a shift from where it was like, to like, It could be a possibility. When you start saying yes, yes to money. We talk about saying yes to all other areas of your life. So how about yes? Yes to money. So that's where we explode those walls. Boom. As we move forward. That, my friends, is an introduction to EFT tapping. It's an energy psychology. We just, each of those spots has an emotional response in your body. There's a ton of information online if you want, and I'll be teaching my workshop. We're going to dive even deeper. Any questions, please talk to me after the service.